This video is going to be the 7th lecture of the course that we have started, namely English Grammar course. And in today's video, we're going to talk about past perfect tense. Before getting into where this tense is used and when this tense is used, we have to study some particular structures in the syntax stage of this particular tense. So let's get started. To make the positive sentence in past perfect tense, you need to look after its grammatical pattern. If you people understand what auxiliary is used here, what form of verb is practiced in this tense, you are done with the structure of this tense. First, there should be the subject in the beginning, followed by had, which is the auxiliary in this tense. And there should be past participle, which we simply call third form of verb. And then there should be the rest of sentence. Adjunct means the optional part of the sentence. If it is added in the sentence, it will provide you extra or additional information. But if it is not a part of the sentence, still the sentence does not lose its meaning, right? To change one positive sentence of past perfect tense into negative, we will introduce the negative adverb right after the auxiliary, which is had. So it will become the negative structure. For example, Hamza had played cricket. Hamza had not played cricket. That's it. But make sure you should be using the punctuation marks thoroughly. In order to make this sentence interrogative, we will take the auxiliary into the beginning and the rest of the sentence should be written in its own place, but we should be replacing the full stop punctuation mark with question point here. Let's talk about negative interrogative. When we discuss negative questions, we have got differences in American English and British English. So when we talk about American English grammar, Americans always prefer using contractions. So the negative contraction form of had not becomes hadn't, and the rest of sentence is written in its own place. The sentence becomes negative. For example, I'll take the example I just used earlier. Hamza had played cricket. Hamza had not played cricket. Had Hamza played cricket? Hadn't Hamza played cricket? And in British English, they prefer the formal structure, so they always prefer using not right after the subject of the sentence. So the sentence appears like, had Hamza not played cricket? That's all. When we talk about past perfect tense, you need to keep one thing in mind, and that is this particular tense talks about both the things, actions as well as states. When we discuss this kind of tense, we have to study these structures individually. Like for actions, there are different structures, and for state, they are a bit different. What's the difference? We're going to talk about it right now. Positive sentence construction appears like subject in the beginning, followed by had, as we just discussed earlier. And then there should be the third form of to be verb, which is been. And then there needs to be some words written in order to complete the meaning of the sentence. Grammatically, that is called complement. In my previous lectures, I have already differentiated between adjunct and complement. Just to make you clear again, adjunct is the optional part of the sentence. Complement is the compulsory part of the sentence. This is the main difference in between both words, adjunct and complement. And to make the sentence negative, interrogative, both in American and British English, all you need to do is applying the rules that we just studied above right here, right? Past perfect tense is used for different purposes. Here comes the first usage of past perfect tense. It is used to talk about an action or state which took place before another action or time in the past. When we discuss past perfect tense, you need to understand that there is a talk of two actions or one action plus one time, because past perfect tense talks about one activity that took place before another activity or time in the past. In this case, make sure that you understand we use past perfect tense to talk about the first action in this situation, which took place before the second action in the past. And for the second action, we use simple past tense in the situation. It's going to be really simple if you just go through this the example sentence written here. The example comes as, when I went to the tennis court, our trainer had already started the training session. In the sentence, which appears to be structurally a complex sentence, it contains two ideas. One is going to the tennis court, and the other is starting the training session. But the question here is, which activity took place first? Because both the activities are the part of past. We know that. But there must be one activity that took place before another activity. So in this situation, you will look after past perfect tense. Past perfect tense shows the first action, so we will go with this one being the first activity according to the time. So first, this activity took place. Once this was done, the second activity followed the first one. There is a note about past perfect tense. In this case, we can also practice the words like since and for. These two words can also be used with past perfect tense to show the starting time or duration of the first action before the second action or time in the past. For example, I had worked in XYZ company for 7 years before I found a new job in 2020. In this example, we've got two activities. One is working, and the second one is finding a new job in the past. Both the activities took place in the past, but there was one activity which took place in 2020, and there was another activity which had taken place before 2020, and the duration of that activity was 7 years. So for an activity which started in the past before the second activity, we use in this case past perfect tense to show the first action, and we use simple past tense to show the second action. Here comes the second usage of past perfect tense. With words like if and wish, past perfect tense talks about past unreal condition and past unreal desire. For example, I wish I had invited all my friends. It means that I did not invite them. The second example, students wish they had accepted the proposal. It signifies that the students did not accept the proposal. And the last example, if you had accepted my offer, you would be a rich man now. It means you did not accept my offer. Here comes the last usage of past perfect tense. It's really simple. Simple past tense is replaced with past perfect tense in its indirect speech. If you people come across simple past tense in the direct speech, you have to switch simple past into past perfect tense the way it is done here. Lisa said, I called my brother. Its indirect speech becomes as Lisa said that she had called her brother. By the way, many of the students they always struggle with the pronoun change plus tense change when it comes to the direct and indirect speech. No worries, because once we are done with our tenses, we are going to start active and passive followed by the speech, where we will be discussing in detail how we can convert our direct speech into indirect speech.